Commander Kyle Matthews looked out at the stars. He was on the bridge of the HM Sentinel, a human battleship that had traveled far into space. His crew was small but strong. They had been traveling for 18 months. Their job was simple: explore and report what they found. Kyle was a hard man. He was 38 years old. He had been a military officer for his whole life. He did not smile much. He did not waste time on talk. He was here to do his job and keep his crew alive. The sensors began to beep. Lieutenant Rachel Kim stood up from her station. She looked worried. Rachel was the best sensor officer in the fleet. She could read the machines better than anyone. "Commander, we have contacts," Rachel said. 17 ships. They are coming toward us fast. I do not know what they are. Kyle did not move. He was still. He was thinking. 17 ships against one. Those were bad numbers. But Kyle had trained his whole life for this. "Show me," he said. Rachel moved her hands on the console. Numbers and pictures came up on the big screen in the middle of the bridge. The ships were not like anything humans had ever made. They were long and thin. They had lights all over them. They looked old. They looked strong. Navigator Jack Porter was a young man. He was good at his job. He had never made a mistake in 12 years of work. He looked at the numbers. "Commander, they will reach us in 8 minutes. Do we run?" Kyle did not answer at first. He was thinking about what to do. He could run. He could try to jump into light speed and get away. The Sentinel was fast. It might work. But they would be running. And running meant the aliens would think humans were weak. Chief Engineer Laura Green came on the radio from the engine room. She was a hard woman. She could fix anything. She could make machines do things they should not be able to do. "Commander, I can push the engines to full power in 2 minutes. We can run if you want." Kyle closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he opened them. He made his choice. "No, we do not run. Raise the shields. Get all the weapons ready. We stay here." The bridge went quiet. Everyone knew what this meant. They were going to fight. They were going to fight 17 ships with one. The odds were terrible. But no one said anything. They all knew Kyle. They all knew he was right. The alarm started to sound. Red lights came on all over the bridge. The ship shook a little as the shields went up. The weapon systems came alive. Each officer did their job without being told. Rachel watched the alien ships get closer. "Commander, they are sending a message." "Put it on," Kyle said. A voice came out of the speakers. It was not a human voice. It was cold. It had no feeling. The words were in English, but the way they said it was not like any English Kyle had ever heard. "Human ship, you are in our space. You have 10 seconds to give us your ship or we will destroy you. 10, 9, 8. Kyle did not say anything. He sat in his chair. He was calm. His crew watched him. They were ready. 7, 6, 5. Kyle looked at Rachel. He looked at Jack. He looked at the other officers on the bridge. "Fire all weapons," he said. Now, the Sentinel came alive. The ship's guns opened fire. They shot energy and fire at the alien ships. The alien ships tried to fire back. Their weapons hit the Sentinel shields. The ship shook hard. Some officers fell from their seats, but the Sentinel's weapons were better than anyone thought. One of the alien ships just came apart. It broke into pieces. The metal flew in all directions. The ship was gone. Just gone. The radio came back to life. The alien voice was different now. It was scared. "This is not possible. You have primitive weapons. How did you do this? Retreat. All ships retreat. Go, go." The alien ships turned around. They went very fast. They disappeared from the sensors. Rachel looked at her screens. She was shaking a little. "They are gone, sir. All 16 remaining ships. They jumped into light speed. They are leaving." The bridge was quiet. Everyone was thinking about what just happened. Kyle checked the screens himself. The aliens were gone. They were really gone. Jack spoke first. "Commander, we won. We actually won." Laura's voice came from the engine room. "What did you hit them with, sir?" "I only gave you half power." Kyle did not smile. He did not feel happy. He felt something else. He felt like something very big had just happened. Something that could not be fixed. Something that would change everything. "Check the shields," he said. "Check all the systems. Make sure nothing is broken that we cannot fix." The crew jumped to work. Rachel reported that the shields were at 60%. The weapons needed time to recharge. But everything was okay. The ship was not badly hurt. One alien ship had been destroyed. That was the important thing. These aliens had come to kill the Sentinel. They had said humans were primitive. They had said humans would not fight. And they were wrong. Kyle stood up from his chair. He walked to the window and looked at the stars. Out there, the alien ships were running away. They were telling their people what happened. They were saying that humans killed one of their destroyers. They were saying that humans were strong. Kyle knew what this meant. The aliens would come back. They would come with more ships. They would come with better plans. Humans were not hidden anymore. Humans were not secret. The galaxy now knew that humans existed. The galaxy now knew that humans could fight. This battle was not the end of anything. It was the beginning. It was the beginning of something huge. Jack came over to Kyle. "Sir, what do we do now? Do we go home?" Kyle looked at the young navigator. Jack was a good man. Jack was brave. Jack did not panic when the shooting started. "No," Kyle said. "We continue the mission. We are explorers. This ship was built to explore. The aliens will know we are here. The whole galaxy will know. But we do not hide. We do not run away. We did our job. We did it well. Now we keep doing it." The crew worked through the night. They fixed the small damage. They recharged the weapons. They ran tests on all the systems. By morning, the Sentinel was ready for anything. Kyle sat in his chair on the bridge. He looked at the stars. He thought about Earth. He thought about Admiral Harmon, who sent him here. He thought about all the people on Earth who did not know what happened. The message would take weeks to reach home. When it did, it would tell them everything. It would tell them that humans had fought alien ships and won. It would tell them that humanity was not alone in the galaxy. It would tell them that humans had a place among the stars. Kyle closed his eyes. He was tired, but he was ready. Whatever came next, he would be ready. His crew would be ready. The Sentinel was ready. The stars burned bright above him. And somewhere out in that darkness, aliens were telling their people about the human ship that should not have won. The galactic community was waking up to the fact that humans were real. Humans were here. And humans were dangerous. Kyle Matthews had not set out to change the galaxy. He had just made one choice. The choice to fight. Now the whole universe would know what that choice meant. News moved fast in space. Not as fast as the ships themselves, but fast enough. The message about the human battleship spread through the galaxy like fire. Every major civilization received the report. Every military commander read the details. Every leader understood that something big had happened. The Valdran Empire heard it first. They were the closest to human space. Their scientists looked at the data again and again. One of their own destroyers had been destroyed by a human ship. This was not possible. Humans were new to space travel. Humans should have been easy to defeat, but they were not. Commander Vex of the Valdaran Empire called an emergency meeting. Vex was tall. He had 4 arms and 4 eyes. He had fought in 30 wars. He had never lost. He commanded the respect of everyone in his government. "This is a problem," Vex said. He looked at the other commanders. "We sent 17 ships. They came back with 14. 3 are gone. 1 was destroyed by the human weapon. The other 2 were too damaged to move." Another commander named Tresh spoke up. "The humans must have stolen their technology. There is no other way. Our weapons are better. Our shields are better. Everything about us is better. A human ship could not just destroy one of ours." But Vex was not so sure. He had studied many species. He had seen civilizations come and go. He had learned that the universe was full of surprises. "Perhaps," Vex said, "or perhaps we made a mistake. Perhaps we looked at them and decided they were weak before we really understood what they were." The Zeth Collective heard the news too. The Zeth were soldiers. They loved war. They had conquered 17 worlds by force. When they heard about the human ship, they did not believe it at first. Then they had to believe it. "We will test them," said the Zeth military leader. "We will send ships and see if they really are strong or if this was just luck." The Stellar Alliance heard the news. They were old. They had been in space for 10,000 years. They did not jump into action quickly. They studied. They planned. They made decisions slowly. But they heard about the humans, and they wanted to know more. On Earth, Admiral Christine Harmon sat in her office. She was watching all the messages coming in. She was watching the data from the Sentinel. She was thinking about what Kyle Matthews had done. Harmon was a strong leader. She had been in the military for 40 years. She had made hard choices before. But this was different. One ship had changed everything. "We need to prepare," she told her team. "The galaxy now knows we exist. They know we can fight. They will send more ships. Some will come to learn. Some will come to test us. Some will come to try to destroy us. We need to be ready for all of them." Sarah Mitchell was a communications officer. She worked for Admiral Harmon. She had dark hair and quick eyes. She was smart. She could talk to anyone. She could explain things clearly. "Ma'am," Sarah said, "we have received 43 messages from different alien civilizations. They all want to talk. They all want to know about the human ship." Harmon looked at the messages. 43 messages. Every one of them was trying to figure out what humans were and what humans wanted. "Pick the most important ones," Harmon said. "The Valdaran Empire. The Stellar Alliance. The others. Set up meetings. We are going to talk to them. We are going to show them that we are not barbarians. We are not savages. We are civilized. We are intelligent. We are willing to work with them. But we will not be pushed around." Sarah nodded. She understood what her job was. She was going to help introduce humanity to the galaxy. The news kept spreading. The Hadron Collective heard. The Quant Federation heard. The Ming Dynasty heard. Every major power knew about the human ship. Every military studied the battle over and over. They all asked the same question: how did humans do this? Scientists on 100 different worlds looked at the data. They tried to understand the human weapons. They tried to understand how one ship could hurt 17. They built computer models. They ran simulations. And they kept getting the same result. The human weapons were very effective. "It should not work this way," said one Valdaran scientist. "Our armor is made of materials that have been tested for 3,000 years. Nothing should pierce it." But the human weapon did. A Zeth military analyst sat in a war room. "Perhaps humans are more dangerous than we thought," he said. Perhaps we should not test them yet. Perhaps we should wait and see what they do. But the Zeth would not wait. The Zeth were not a species that waited for anything. In the space between stars, the HM Sentinel continued its mission. Kyle Matthews did not think much about what his one battle had done. He was focused on his job. He was focused on keeping his crew safe. He was focused on exploring new space. But everywhere else, the galaxy was changing. The power balance was shifting. For thousands of years, the major civilizations had felt safe. They had felt in control. Now a new player had arrived. A species no one had paid attention to. A species that had turned out to be very, very dangerous. Rachel Kim was in her quarters on the Sentinel. She was looking at the messages coming from Earth. She read about how the battle was being talked about across the galaxy. She read about how humans were being discussed in places she had never heard of. She thought about the moment when she first saw the alien ships. She thought about how scared she had been. She thought about how Kyle had not hesitated. He had just made a decision and stuck with it. That was what made humans different, she thought. Humans did not waste time on fear. Humans acted. Humans survived. Humans won. Lara Green in the engine room was working on the reactor. It had been pushed hard during the battle. Now it needed maintenance. As she worked, she thought about the message from the other civilizations. Some wanted to be friends. Some wanted to trade. Some wanted to study humans. Some wanted to test them. Some wanted to destroy them before they became too powerful. Lara did not care what the aliens wanted. She knew what humans would do. Humans would survive. Humans would fight. Humans would protect their own. Jack Porter was navigating the ship through an asteroid field. He was thinking about his family on Earth. They would hear about the battle. They would be proud of him. They would be proud of what the Sentinel had done. But Jack was also thinking about what came next. The Sentinel was one ship. There were many alien civilizations out there. If they all decided to come after humanity, one ship would not be enough. Still, Jack thought one ship had already changed everything. One ship had shown the galaxy what humans could do. One ship had given Earth a chance to find its place among the stars. The galaxy was waking up. It was learning about humans. It was learning to fear humans. And it was learning to respect humans. Kyle Matthews had not tried to be a hero. He had just done his job. But in doing his job, he had changed the course of history. He had shown the galaxy that humans were not primitive. He had shown the galaxy that humans could fight. He had shown the galaxy that humans would not be conquered. And now, the universe would spend the coming years learning what that meant. The age of human importance had begun, and it had started with one choice: to fight instead of run. The diplomatic meeting would take place on a neutral station. The station orbited Jupiter. It was old. It had been built 200 years ago when different alien species first started working together. The station was big enough to hold hundreds of people from different worlds. Admiral Christine Harmon arrived with her team. She wore her military uniform. She wanted the aliens to see that she was a soldier. She wanted them to understand that humans took this meeting seriously. With her came Dr. Marcus Reed. Marcus was a scientist. He studied alien life and alien culture. He had spent his whole life learning about different species. He was the best person on Earth for this job. Colonel Lisa Park was the military leader. She was young. She was only 40 years old. But she was strong. She had commanded human military forces across 3 continents. She was smart. She was quick. She would make sure that no one tried to trick the humans. Commander Vex was already waiting in the meeting room. He was much taller than the humans. He had to bend his head a little to fit through the doors. His 4 eyes watched everything. His 4 arms were folded in front of him. "Admiral Harmon," Vex said, I am pleased to meet you. I have studied humans. Your species is interesting. Harmon looked directly at Vex. She did not smile. She did not waste time on friendliness. Commander Vex, thank you for meeting with me. I want to be clear about something. Humans did not start this conflict. Your ships attacked the Sentinel without warning. Your commander said he would destroy us in 10 seconds. The Sentinel captain responded the way any captain would respond. He defended his ship. Vex made a sound that might have been agreement. This is true. My commander made a mistake. He believed humans were primitive. He believed we could destroy you without effort. He was wrong. One of our destroyers is now destroyed. 3 more ships are damaged. This is not the result we expected. Dr. Marcus spoke up. Commander, my government wants peace. We want to work with your people. We want to trade. We want to learn from each other. We do not want war. Vex looked at Marcus with all 4 of his eyes. Your desire for peace is noted. However, you must understand something. In the galaxy, species that do not prove themselves through strength are seen as weak. Your ship destroyed one of ours. This proved you have strength. This gained you respect. If your ship had run away or surrendered, my people would have seen you as a species to conquer. Your captain made the right choice. He gave your entire species a chance to survive. The conversation went on for many hours. Vex asked questions about human technology. He asked about human culture. He asked about human government. Harmon and Marcus answered everything. They were honest. They did not hide anything. Your species comes from a harsh world, Vex said. This explains much. We come from a world that is calm. We have had everything we needed for millions of years. We became confident. We became careless. Humans come from a world of struggle. You learn to survive. You learn to fight. You learn to never give up. This is valuable. After 3 days of talks, Vex gave Harmon a gift. It was a small device made of metal and crystal. Inside it was information. Very valuable information. Information about advanced technology that humans could use. This is a gesture of respect, Vex said. Take this knowledge. Learn from it. Make yourselves stronger. The galaxy will be better if humanity is strong. Harmon took the device. She understood what it meant. The Valdran Empire was accepting humans as equals. They were offering to trade knowledge. They were offering to make an alliance. When Harmon returned to Earth, she called a meeting with all the world leaders. The leaders of China, Russia, America, Europe, India, and all other nations came together. For the first time in human history, the entire planet united under one banner. The banner of humanity. We have been invited into the galactic community, Harmon told them. Not as slaves, not as subjects, but as equals, as partners. This is our moment. We can hide on Earth and hope no one bothers us. Or we can go out into the galaxy and claim our place among the stars. The vote was simple. Every nation agreed. Humanity would go to the stars. Humanity would build new ships. Humanity would become a power in the galaxy. But not everyone was happy about this. There were groups of humans who did not trust aliens. They believed that contact with alien life would destroy human culture. They believed that humans should stay on Earth and stay hidden. These humans formed underground movements. They talked about conspiracies. They said that the government was being controlled by aliens. They said that humans were being betrayed. Some of them began to prepare for war. They believed that one day, all the aliens would attack, and humans would need to fight alone. The government tried to talk to these groups. The government tried to show them data. The government tried to explain that peace was possible. But some humans did not want to hear it. Some humans wanted to believe in the worst. Kyle Matthews stayed on the Sentinel. He did not come back to Earth. He did not want to be a hero. He did not want to give speeches. He wanted to do his job. He wanted to command his ship. He wanted to protect human interests in space. The Sentinel continued to patrol. New alien ships appeared every week. Some were friendly. Some were not sure. Some were hostile. Kyle had to deal with all of them. One day, a Zeth warship appeared near human space. The Zeth commander sent a message. "Human captain, we want to test your abilities. We want to fight you one ship to one ship." Kyle considered this. He knew what was happening. The Zeth were testing humanity. They wanted to see if humans were really strong, or if the first victory was just luck. "Accepted," Kyle said. "We will fight your ship. But I want it understood that we are doing this to settle this matter once and for all. If you lose, you will not attack humans again." "Agreed," the Zeth commander said. "If you lose, you will surrender to us." The two ships prepared for battle. The Sentinel's shields went up. The weapon systems came online. The crew was ready. The Zeth ship attacked first. It was bigger than the Sentinel. It was older. It had been in service for 200 years. But Kyle was not impressed. "Fire," Kyle said. The Sentinel's weapons responded. The fight lasted only minutes. The Zeth ship tried to retreat, but Kyle cut off its escape. The ship's engines failed. Its shields came down. Finally, the Zeth commander surrendered. Kyle did not destroy the ship. He did not kill the crew. He just disabled it and left it floating in space. A Valdran rescue ship picked it up later. This second battle made humans famous across the galaxy. Every species now knew about humans. Every civilization understood that humans were dangerous. Every leader wanted to know more about the mysterious species that had appeared from nowhere and started winning battles. Dr. Marcus Reed was invited to speak at a galactic university. He talked about human history. He talked about how humans had survived on Earth. He talked about why humans were so good at fighting. "Humans are survivors," Marcus said. "For millions of years, humans lived on a hard world. We fought predators. We fought the weather. We fought hunger. We fought disease. We survived. And through all this survival, we learned something important. We learned that we could overcome anything if we worked together and refused to give up." The other species listened. They were starting to understand. They were starting to respect humans. They were starting to understand that humans were not just strong. Humans were different. Humans had something inside them that other species did not have. Something that could not be copied. Something that could not be stolen. Something that could not be broken. Kyle Matthews looked out at the stars. He thought about Earth. He thought about his family. He thought about all the humans who would now come to space. They would build cities. They would build ships. They would explore. They would learn. And they would do it all because of one choice. One choice to fight instead of run. One choice to stand up and say no. One choice to defend human honor. That choice had changed everything. That choice had given humanity a future among the stars. 3 months passed after the first encounter with the aliens. The galaxy was changing. Everywhere humans looked, aliens were changing how they thought about them. But not all aliens were happy about this. Not all aliens wanted to accept humans as equals. The Zeth Collective was powerful. They had conquered 17 worlds. They had defeated every enemy they faced. But they had lost 2 battles to humans. This made them angry. This made them want revenge. The Zeth commander called a meeting with his generals. "We have lost twice," he said. "This is not acceptable. The humans think they are strong. We will show them what real power is. We will attack one of their colonies. We will destroy their settlement. We will show them that they cannot win against the Zeth. The Zeth prepared a fleet. 30 ships. The biggest fleet they could gather quickly. They pointed their weapons at a human colony called New Haven. New Haven was on a planet that orbited a blue star. The planet was good for humans. It had water. It had food. It had everything a human colony needed. The commander of New Haven was Captain Daniel Foster. Daniel was 47 years old. He had been a military officer for 30 years. He had seen combat before. He had lost friends in battle. He was not a man who was easily scared. When the sensors showed the Zeth fleet coming, Daniel made a decision. He called all his officers together. "We have a Zeth fleet coming," he said. 30 ships. They are powerful. They are angry. They want to destroy us. We have 3 choices. We can run. We can hide. Or we can fight. One of his officers, Captain Jennifer Davis, spoke up. "Sir, we cannot fight 30 ships. We only have the colony's defenses and 2 small patrol ships. We will lose." Daniel nodded. "Yes, we will probably lose. But our people will not be here when we do. I am ordering full evacuation. Everyone who's not military needs to leave. Everyone with families needs to leave. Take the evacuation ships and go. Head toward Mars. Go now." Jennifer understood what Daniel was doing. He was staying. He was going to hold the line while the others escaped. He was going to buy time with his own life. "I am staying with you, sir," Jennifer said. Other officers said the same thing. They would stay. They would fight. They would hold the Zeth back. Daniel sent a message across space. The message went to every human ship that was close enough to hear it. The message was simple. New Haven is under attack. We need help. If any human ship can reach us, we need you. We need you now. The HM Sentinel was 3 days away. Kyle Matthews received the message. He read it once. Then he read it again. He did not hesitate. "Maximum power to the engines," he told Lavra Green. "Get us there as fast as this ship can move. We can get there in 16 hours if we push everything to the limit," Lavra said. "But we will damage the engines." "I do not care about the engines," Kyle said. "Get us there. Those are people. Those are humans. They need us." The Sentinel flew toward New Haven. It flew faster than any ship had flown before. The crew held on as the ship pushed itself to the edge of breaking apart. In the same time, the Zeth fleet reached New Haven. 30 ships surrounded the colony. The Zeth commander sent a message. "Give us your ship. Give us all your weapons. Give us everything valuable. Do this, and we will let your people live. Refuse, and we will destroy everything." Daniel Foster did not surrender. He fired back. The colony's defenses were good, but they were not good enough. The Zeth had more ships. They had more firepower. But Daniel's people fought hard. They fought like humans always fight. They refused to quit even when winning seemed impossible. One of the evacuation ships was hit. It fell toward the planet. The crew tried to save it, but they could not. The ship crashed. People died. But the other evacuation ships escaped. Daniel watched from the colony's command center. He watched his people die. He watched the Zeth destroy buildings. He watched aliens burn the things humans had built. And he did not stop fighting. He could not stop fighting. Then, the Sentinel arrived. Kyle Matthews had pushed his ship to the limit. The engines were smoking. The shields were barely holding. But the Sentinel was there, and it was ready to fight. The Zeth commander saw the human ship appear. He smiled. One more ship. One more ship to destroy. This would be easy. "Destroy the human ship," the Zeth commander said. Kyle did not wait for the Zeth to attack. He attacked first. The Sentinel's weapons came alive. Energy bolts went out in all directions. The Zeth ships tried to scatter. They tried to get away. But Kyle had positioned himself to block their escape. The fight was brutal. The Sentinel took damage. Shields failed. The ship shook. People were thrown out of their chairs. Alarms sounded everywhere, but Kyle's crew was the best. Rachel tracked every ship. She told Kyle where to fire. Jack found ways to turn the Sentinel so that it could fight multiple enemies at once. Lavra pushed the engines to give them every last bit of power. One by one, the Zeth ships fell. Some were destroyed. Some ran away. Some tried to surrender. Kyle did not kill ships that surrendered. He just disabled them and left them floating. After 2 hours of fighting, the Zeth fleet was broken. Only 12 of the 30 ships were still able to move. And they were running away. They were running as fast as they could go. The Sentinel was damaged. The hull had holes. The shields were gone. The weapons were burned out. The engines were failing. But the Sentinel was still floating. The Sentinel was still working. Kyle looked at his crew. Everyone was still alive. No one on the Sentinel had died today. Some were hurt, but no one was dead. "We did it," Jack said quietly. He was shocked. They had fought 30 ships, and one. Daniel Foster sent a message to the Sentinel. "Thank you. Thank you for saving us. You saved our lives." Kyle sent a message back. "That is what humans do. We protect our own. That is what makes us human." The news of this battle spread faster than the first battle. Humans had fought not just one battle. Humans had fought two. Humans had beaten the mighty Zeth collective twice. The first time was one Zeth destroyer. The second time was 30 Zeth ships. The galaxy stopped talking about luck. The galaxy started talking about human skill. The galaxy started talking about human bravery. The galaxy started asking how humans had learned to fight so well. Scientists studied the battle data. They could not explain it. The Zeth had better weapons. The Zeth had more ships. By all the rules of military science, the humans should have lost. But they won. They won because of something that could not be measured with instruments. They won because they were fighting for their people. They won because they refused to give up. They won because they worked together. They won because they were human. The Valdran Empire's commander Vex watched the data. He nodded. He understood now. The Valdran had made the right choice. They had chosen to be friends with humans instead of enemies. Because humans were not going to be conquered. Humans were not going to be defeated. Humans were going to keep fighting until they won. Kyle Matthews rested in his quarters on the Sentinel. The ship was being repaired. The engines would take a week to fix properly. The shields would take 3 days. The hull could be patched in hours, but Kyle was not thinking about repairs. He was thinking about what all this meant. One ship had terrified the Zeth collective. One ship had protected a human colony. One ship had shown the galaxy what humans could do. And it had all started with one choice. The choice to fight. The choice to refuse to surrender. The choice to believe that humans could win even when winning seemed impossible. Kyle closed his eyes. Somewhere out in the galaxy, aliens were telling their people about the human battleship. Aliens were warning their military leaders about humans. Aliens were learning to fear humans, and it had all happened because a human captain believed in his crew. It had all happened because a human crew believed in each other. It had all happened because humans were willing to die for their people. That was what made humans dangerous. Not their weapons, not their ships, their heart, their courage, their willingness to never give up. The age of human power had begun, and the galaxy would spend the coming years learning what that meant. 1 year had passed. The galaxy had changed completely. The Valdran Empire, the Zeth Collective, the Stellar Alliance, and many other civilizations were coming together. They were building something new. They were building a unified government for the galaxy. The idea came from Admiral Christine Harmon. She had seen how humans united after the first battle. She had seen how humans worked together when they had a common goal. She believed the galaxy could do the same thing. If we do not unite, Harmon told the galactic leaders, we will keep fighting each other forever. We will spend our time destroying one another instead of building a better future. I propose a galactic accord, a set of rules that all species must follow, a promise that we will defend each other instead of attack each other. The leaders listened. Some of them did not like the idea at first. The Zeph Collective did not want to follow anyone's rules. The Stellar Alliance thought they were too good to need allies. That they all saw the same thing. Humans were strong. Humans were growing stronger. If the other civilizations did not unite, humans might eventually rule the galaxy. So they agreed. They would work together. They would build the Galactic Accord. The Accord had simple rules. If one civilization attacked another, all other civilizations would come together and fight back. No species could conquer another. No species could force another into slavery. All species had the right to exist. All species had the right to have a place in the galaxy. The document was written in simple language that all species could understand. It was written with the same clear words that humans used. That was no accident. The accord was designed to be understood by everyone. The ceremony to sign the accord was held on a massive space station. 47 different species sent their leaders. Representatives came from every major civilization and many smaller ones. They came to make a promise. They came to build a new future. Commander Kyle Matthews was invited to attend. He did not want to go. He wanted to stay on his ship. He wanted to keep doing his job. But Admiral Harmon asked him to come. She said the galaxy needed to see him. She said the galaxy needed to remember what humans had done. Kyle put on his dress uniform. He looked uncomfortable in it. He was a man of action, not ceremony. But he went to the station. When he walked into the great assembly hall, everyone stood up. Every alien species stood. Every leader stood. They stood to honor Kyle Matthews. They stood to honor the human captain who had changed the galaxy. Kyle felt strange. He did not feel like a hero. He felt like a man who had done his job. But he walked to the platform and stood there. Vex, the Valdran commander, spoke first. Kyle Matthews, you have shown the galaxy what courage means. Your ship stood against enemies. Your crew fought with honor. You protected those who could not protect themselves. On behalf of the Valdran Empire, I honor you. I honor you and your crew. The Zeth commander spoke too. We fought your ship. We lost. We were angry. We believed you had broken ancient rules of war. But we were wrong. You fought fairly. You fought with skill. You fought to protect your people. On behalf of the Zeth Collective, I admit that humans are worthy adversaries. I admit that we were wrong to underestimate you. Other leaders spoke. They said things about human courage. They said things about human skill. They said things about how humans had changed everything. Kyle listened, but he did not really hear the words. He was thinking about his crew. He was thinking about Rachel Kim, who had tracked every ship with perfect accuracy. He was thinking about Jack Porter, who had navigated through impossible situations. He was thinking about Laura Green, who had pushed the Sentinel's engines beyond their limits. He was thinking about all the crew members who had worked together to win those battles. When the ceremony was finished, Kyle was given a crystal monument. The monument was inscribed with the names of his entire crew, the names of every person who had served on the Sentinel, the names of every person who had fought for humanity. Kyle held the monument. He looked at the names. He felt proud, not proud of himself. proud of the Sentinel, proud of the crew, proud of humanity. Later, Kyle met with Admiral Harmon in a private room. The Admiral looked tired but satisfied. "You did good," Harmon said. "More than good. You changed history." Kyle shook his head. "I did what any captain would do. I fought for my crew. I fought for my people. Any human would have done the same thing." "That is true," Harmon said. "And that is why you are important. You showed the galaxy what humans are really like. You showed them that we are not special because we have better weapons or better ships. We are special because we refuse to give up. We are special because we stand together. We are special because we will die to protect those we love." Kyle looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Sentinel was patrolling human space. Somewhere out there, new human ships were being built. Somewhere out there, humanity was growing stronger every day. "What happens now?" Kyle asked. Harmon smiled. "Now humanity becomes what we have always wanted to be. Free, strong, part of something bigger. We will have wars, and we will have peace. We will make mistakes, and we will learn from them. We will build cities on new worlds. We will explore the galaxy. We will become a true power in this universe. And the Accord?" "The Accord will hold," Harmon said. "For a while. Maybe for a long time. The galaxy has learned that peace is better than war. They have learned that working together is better than fighting each other. But more than that, they have learned to respect humans. And fear. A little fear is good for keeping peace." Kyle went back to the Sentinel. The ship was still being repaired and updated. New weapon systems were being installed. New shields were being added. The Sentinel was becoming even more powerful. The crew gathered in the main meeting room. Rachel was there. Jack was there. Laura was there. All of them were there. "We are going back to space," Kyle told them. "We are going to continue our mission. We are going to explore. We are going to protect human interests. We are going to show the galaxy what humans are made of." The crew cheered. They did not cheer because they wanted war. They cheered because they wanted to do their job. They cheered because they believed in what they were doing. The Sentinel left the station. It jumped into light speed. It pointed toward the distant stars. Rachel worked at her station, tracking everything in space around them. Jack navigated them safely through dangerous areas. Laura kept the engines running smoothly, and Kyle stood on the bridge, watching the stars unfold before him. He thought about Earth. He thought about the people there who did not know what had happened. He thought about the future. Humans had gone from being a hidden species that nobody knew about. Humans had become the species that the galaxy feared. Humans had become the species that changed everything, and it had all happened because of one decision. The decision to fight. The decision to believe in themselves. The decision to refuse to give up even when the odds were impossible. Kyle closed his eyes for a moment. He thought about what the future would bring. More battles, probably. More challenges, definitely. Maybe even peace someday. But whatever came next, Kyle knew one thing. Humans would face it together. Humans would fight if they had to. Humans would protect their own. Humans would never surrender. That was what made humans special. That was what made the HM Sentinel special. That was what made humanity powerful in the galaxy. The stars burned bright above them. And somewhere in that darkness, new human ships were being built. New human colonies were being settled. New humans were learning what it meant to be part of something greater than themselves. The age of humanity had begun. And nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. Kyle Matthews had not set out to change the universe. He had just made one choice. He had chosen to fight instead of run. He had chosen to believe in his crew. He had chosen to stand up and say no. That one choice had changed everything. That one choice had given humanity a future among the stars. That one choice had made the HM a Sentinel, a legend that would be told for 1,000 years. And as the Sentinel flew into the darkness of space, Kyle knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had arrived in the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same.